Hello, Gemini. Welcome to your weekly reading with me, Cindy. I don't know. I was trying to get my chair into position, and it was like the leg of the chair was getting stuck on the table. Anyways, that was a kerfuffle. So welcome to your weekly reading with me, Cindy. So Gem, what's going on, my friends? There is an extended at the end of this reading to look at the blind spot if you're so drawn to it. The link is at the top of the description. Oh, before. So I'm doing a show. I've never done this before. I was inspired by Aquarius because a song popped into my head for them this week. And I thought, well, why can't everybody have a song? So I'm doing a shuffle. But I have such an eclectic mix of music on here. Like, you might get a Christmas carol. You might, I don't know what you could get. You might get meditation music. All right, so we're going to do a shuffle. I'm going to tell you what your song is. I don't know if I can. I'll play a tiny bit. But then if there's lyrics and stuff, you'll want to look that up on your own to see if it pertains to you in any way. For Gemini, shuffle for Gemini. Ooh, we got a Bee Gees. Words. Wow, that's so Gemini. Okay, better stop it. It hasn't even played any. I'm gonna stop it there. Because, you know, YouTube, like, it checks out to make sure you're not playing music that you don't have the rights for. I don't have the rights for this. Words by the Bee Gees. Isn't that interesting? Because that's so Gemini. Words and thought and blah. I love it. There you go. It was quite significant. So yeah, I haven't even looked. I don't know what the lyrics to that song is, so. Please feel free to share it in the comments. Oh, okay, no. Here we go. One, two, three, four. Wow, there's a lot of fire with a little bit of air. A little bit of air. And the Five of Air is at the bottom. This card has been getting around a bit this week. A little bit. Oh, Wheel of Fortune. Ooh, Messenger of Fire. Two of Water. The Fool. Then it's upside down. I've kind of been drawn to the underlines this week, particularly when there's more than one sitting there. But the Five of Air, so this is kind of, when I say the underlying card or cards, to me, it's why we're here. It's the reason for the message. It's the reason for your message. Maybe you're having trouble with your words, because I was doing fine until I came in here like a bumbling, I want to say idiot, but you know, I'm talking with Gemini. You guys can handle this. My Gemini friend is the first one to tell me to, you know, I'm being an asshole. See what they're in, I'll tell you. The Five of Air, and this is difficult. It has been some sort of situation has been difficult, and you've been really balancing a lot of it here. You've been kind of putting yourself out there, like keeping it all going, maybe dealing with a lot of different messages and communication too with all of these birds. And it kind of feels like sometimes this stuff comes in and you might not really be ready for it. You're trying to balance. It's like you've got this thing going on here. I'm trying to get this. I'm trying to stay balanced. I'm trying to, and then this just feels like a lot. And then we get the Wheel of Fortune. The Messenger of Fire, which is like a page. There's something coming in. There's, like a little, I never noticed the peekaboo face in the Wheel of Fortune, the Fortune's Wheel before. Yeah, someone coming in to relay a message to you, which is interesting because I haven't even showed you what you have down here yet. Maybe you can see it. You do have the Messenger of Air down here. But this Messenger of Fire, the underline, it's the fiery, it's the passionate aspect of whatever message is going to come through that shifts things. That's the shift here. And when it shifts, it's the Two of Water and the Fool, which is like the Two of Cups and the Fool. It's a very peaceful energy. And you know, this Fool card feels more like heralding a leap of, I was going to say it's typically a leap of faith, but this is almost like heralding a new beginning of some sort. You know, that little French horn, boop, and it's almost like it's saying like we're bringing in this new energy or this new cycle. Because that's kind of what's coming in. there's a shift. Something's been difficult, where something has been very difficult for you to manage or manage the communication. There may even be some sort of separation in space and time here between you and someone else or something in your life, however that applies to you. With two messengers though, I feel like it's people. So this is what pulled out. The King of Fire, the Eight of Fire, a lot of fire, the Messenger of Air, and the Seven of Fire. No, look at that. You know, you might be dealing with someone who has a lot of fire, and I'm only saying that because I'm gonna hold it up so it's as you see it on the table. You see how the Messenger of Air and the Seven of Fire, both their energies are being directed towards this King of Fire and the Eight of Fire. It's kind of, and this is the only card to sort of indicate, plus the Five of Air, which is the underlining, which is something difficult, to indicate to me that this is your energy. And I feel like because this is behind you, it's yours as well. It's kind of like the magic part of you, the real magical part, bringing in these little glowing dragonflies. And I like to see dragonflies as things starting to become clear, a transition in a cycle starting to come to its full evolution. And unicorns are so beautiful because they're all about, to me, believing in magic. It does feel like there's an awful lot of belief in the impossible. Like you kind of like, you have a belief in the impossible here. That's driving you. I feel like it's driving you. It's sitting right behind you. Because at some point you're meant to sit on this unicorn. The unicorn has a saddle and is ready to go, but there's no one on the unicorn saddle. But yet the unicorn approaches you from behind. A little bit like being guided by the universe here, being guided and having belief in the magic of the universe to help pull you through. And the King of Fire and the Eight of Fire. If these were just normal tarot cards, I would say it feels like this King of Fire, because we kind of have two court cards here, is wanting to move towards you or to communicate. It feels like, I feel like it does, but it's almost like it's putting out beacons to draw you in. This energy is trying to draw you in. Like lure you in, which is really interesting because fire tends to be a very active energy. Like the King of Fire will usually go after what the King of Fire wants. It's very dynamic, very attractive. Utilizes a lot of his own intuition and passion and desires to feed what it is that he would like to fulfill, he or she would like to fulfill. But they're utilizing their energy in a different way. It's almost as if they're taking all of that fiery volcanic energy of the fire sign, the element of fire, and instead of allowing it to come forth and to move and create movement, they're almost holding it in and creating this draw, like you're being drawn to it because it just feels so powerful. It's like having all that, having a whole bunch of yang energy that's not yanging. It's sitting and it's being compacted, which is almost making it more powerful because it's drawing you in. And it's almost like the universe is kind of like, go. Like your friend at a party or something. If you see someone, you go, oh, they're really cute. You should go ask them to dance. Oh, no. Like, right? Like, that person's way out of my league. I'm just... No, you should go. Look, they're not with anyone. You should go. No, you should go. Like, that's what it feels like. The unicorn is like, go. Kind of feeling that. Okay. All right, so yeah, the underline. And again, you know, now that I'm saying that, because look at the messenger of fire. She's just standing there and she's glowing. She's got the glow on. She's got the fire. Something's pulling you in. But it's good because it's about to herald some wonderful balanced energy. Very loving, very give and take, very yin and yang. Perhaps there's some sort of a switch here in energy. Perhaps the yin is being asked to take on a yang, and perhaps the yang is being asked to take on a yin, which is the difference between, you know, kind of going within and going outwardly, you know, no action and action. All right, we're going to get a card for each one of these to really see what's going on here, Jen. Oh, it's interesting. I don't think they know they're doing this to you, to be honest. I don't think it's their intention. Isn't that funny? Okay, I'm going to show you. You know, like drawing you in, like suppressing the fire to create this, almost like this very powerful beacon in the woods. Because that's what's here with this panda. This girl that's doing the Five of Swords is driving you crazy. You got it again. Five of Air, the Five of Swords. The Seven of Fire. The Seven of Fire, oh my gosh. It's, you know what it's, what came up here? You know what it is? Okay. It's like, I'll talk about that in a minute. It's like, I don't know, if you're trying to connect with someone or understand somebody or start something up with someone, however that plays out, whether it's romantic or not, it doesn't have to be, but some sort of connection with a person. And either you're both not, like, you're having some frustration here because you got the Five of Air with your messenger of air. It's like, how do I do this? How do I communicate this? How do I be clear about what I want to say? Words, that was your song. I'd be so curious. After this video, I'm going to go look at the lyrics to that song is by the Bee Gees for you. This person is creating almost like bait. A bait in a snap trap. But it doesn't feel like a trap. I shouldn't really call it that. Really, it's bait in a cozy pillow, perhaps, because it's taking you to the Two of Cups and the Fool, and it feels like a really, like, heralding a new beginning. They don't know they're doing this. This person is just sort of reacting to things that have already happened or however they're feeling about things. And it's creating this energy unintentionally. And the energy that they're creating is actually like a stimuli for you. But they're not doing it on purpose. That's what the thing is. So the King of Fire is really happy. Really good. Good. It's all good. Happy, you know, finding joy in themselves and things around them. Being creative. Happiness and expressing joy too. They really do have this. Now, this is a funny thing for this fiery energy because they're really in their cups. They're really in their cups, and maybe they've gone in there for the first time ever or for the first time in a long time, because I do like to say that fire tends to come up to protect the water, to protect that. So this person is actually almost not changing who they are, still being very fiery, but allowing all this water to come forward and find happiness in it. Emotions and intuition. So the Eight of Fire, then they have the Eight of Fire and the Two of Swords. This is what I'm saying, like this Eight of Fire energy for me feels like it's theirs and what their energy would naturally do, but they're not doing that with it. And because they're not doing that with it, it's creating a completely different dynamic between you and them, a completely different energy. and that pulls you in. But it's not like they're trying, I'm trying to say that, like, I don't think this person is trying to play games with you to pull you in. It's just the cycle that they're in and it's doing this. The Two of Swords, like, I think this person would like to go out and do movement. I think this person would. They may even want to communicate to you more than anything in the world, or move towards you more than anything in the world. But they're getting some conflicting messages. I really get that, like, there's something very conflicting for them about that. And maybe it is because I'm feeling that this person is in an energy that is a very sought after. The Nine of Cups is a really great energy to be in. You're responsible for your happiness, man. Like, you're making your happiness. It's all for you, and it's a high resonance. It's a very high vibrational. And it's that high vibrational energy where you're vibrating. They are at the same frequency as the universe. So whatever you want to manifest, you kind of do. The universe can hear you loud and clear. So there's something, maybe they sense your anxiety. Maybe they can sense your anxiety. They kind of want to reach out. They want to communicate. They do want to move and communicate to you. I feel that with the Eight of Fire, but they're held back with this Two of Swords. It felt held back before that even really came out, and now it really does. You're having difficulty. Maybe there's something in that song to help you with your words. You're really having difficulty here. Now, this is what's interesting. This unicorn, this Seven of Fire, that feels like the universe pushing you. And what's interesting is it is fire. It's a little bit like the universe is recognizing what's drawing you towards something. So it's kind of utilizing that same element to kind of push you a bit here. It's very magical, passionate, creative energy. And it's giving you nudges. And you know what's really neat is what it's harnessing is the Seven of Cups to the Knight of Cups. So you definitely want to go towards this person, but you don't know how to do it. With the Seven of Cups, you're really trying to figure that out here. And it's racking your brain. There's been some sort of separation. Oh, look at that. Oh, I think you're both getting, you're both getting wrong information from outside sources or parties here. Because this dude's brain is being racked by the crows. The crows should provide. I mean, they are like a vehicle, a messenger from the upper realms. And then this person's being racked by crows. You see what I'm saying? It's as if you're both getting some sort of outside communication or energy or messages that are making this difficult. More difficult than it needs to be. Another crow. Now I see. I pushed this underlying card to the side. It's like, I don't want to deal with that right now, which is kind of funny. Because obviously I wasn't meant to deal with it when I looked at it. Now that I've understood these crows here, I've seen that. Just look at this Ace of Swords. Do you see the crow at the very top? There's one crow and everything. Actually, the crow is flying away. The crow is flying away. And this is where clarity is kind of beamed in here. And it's a lot of information. There's the Tree of Life. There's the infinity symbol. There is the symbol for Mercury. I think it's Jupiter. There's some sort of mathematical equation at the bottom. Something is clouding. Okay, it's almost like something is clouding your judgment. Something's clouding your mind. Or if you receive intuition on a pretty strong level, it's almost like it's kind of, it's this and then it's that and then it's that and then it's this. And for this person, I feel like they almost have two, like, telling them two different things here. Ooh, let's go into the... Yeah. So it makes, okay, I'm already getting an answer. So, there comes a point where you just need to trust in yourself. You have to, yeah, and you know, here's the thing. This is reminding me of a reading I did for you guys a while ago, Gemini, maybe a year or more. And very specific, the reading was, do no longer seek out spiritual guidance. No longer come to this. I mean, it's the worst thing I could say, right? But no, I mean, because I want you to think independently. It's one thing to come here and get guidance, but it's another thing for that to run your life, because you always have freedom of choice. And I mean, I pull cards for myself all the time. It's like, well, I'm going to do what I want. And in some ways, do you think the universe kind of knows that that's how you're going to react? And they're setting you up to do that. It kind of feels like that. It sort of feels like the universe is trying to set you up, and perhaps this person, to just do your thing. Stop looking for any answers outside of you, even if that's intuition, or asking spirit guides, tarot readers, crystal ball readers, psychics, empaths. Tell me about the crows. Oh, you might work with the crows. Huh. The Eight of Pentacles, the Two of Swords, and the Sun. You might even be giving each other like confusing messages. Yeah. But the crows are here. So tell me about the crows. The crows, Eight of Pentacles, working on something. What are they working on? They're working on indecision, and what's on the other side of that is wish fulfillment and clarity. So the crows are, in an indirect way, working to get you and someone else into wish fulfillment and to clarity. Now, it feels like they're doing, so the messages that you're receiving are not, they're intended to push you. A little bit like, you know, how I explained the energy of the King of Fire, where it's not like they're doing it, but I kind of think the crows are doing it. Maybe they're not. There's something playing out on a higher level here. Because an energy is being created that neither you or this person would create without this outside stimulation that's going on. And this outside stimulation is causing some sort of conflict. But yet the crow, and it was weird to say it, the crow or the raven should be a trusted source. It should be a trusted source. And it is. It's almost like it's getting messages. They're getting... Who the hell is controlling the crows? What's going on here? This is a really weird reading. Who's controlling the crows? Queen of Swords and the Stars. Or the Star. This feels like something from higher up. It's a little bit like a life lesson here. If you and this person highly rely on your intuition, your clairaudient ability, you're almost being asked to put that aside and just go with something else here. It really feels like that. Because the swords is all messed up. Swords are all messed up. It's just not, it's not clear. And yet the source, what is controlling the crows, I mean, the Queen of Swords is honest, is upfront, will cut that bullshit right out. And the Star is very divine energy. It's like angel on earth. When the universe pushes your buttons. more about your Five of Swords. Yeah, see? It's got you all defensive. It's all defensive. Seven of Wands. Yeah. All defensive. Like, Okay, what's the best way to clear this? Let's just go right to that. I'm going to put on a different tarot deck. What's the best way to clear this crap? It's going to be interesting to see what comes out. I'm literally receiving the message that this conflict is actually designed to keep you both in place while energy corrects itself. That's the only way. Because again, the King of Fire, if he's got the Eight of Wands, he wants to move, he wants to communicate, he wants to do this. But there's things that have been put in place to just make it impossible to come up with a decision, to know what to do. And you, the Messenger of Air, you should be so clear. You should really understand. But there's so much conflict here and it's made you defensive. So nobody's moving. And so let's see what comes out. Okay. What is the best course of action here for Gemini? What's the best course of action for Gemini? The Three of Pentacles and the Two of Wands. Actually, the Two of Wands came out first. The Two of Wands and the Three of Pentacles. This is getting ready to make a choice here. And when you make the choice, you want to move towards an energy that's very uplifting to each other. This Three of Pentacles. The Three of Pentacles, it's kind of cool. Well, they do have a lizard, but there's just two people in this Three of Pentacles card. And it's uplifting. You know, at one point you lift up that person and at another point they lift you up. Kind of like championing each other and working really well and creative together. And it, like, right, there's no swords here. There's no swords here. It's a little bit too like, don't think about it. Because when they think about it, they end up in the Two of Swords. And you think about it and you're in the Five of Swords with the Seven of Wands. Don't think about it. Make your choice. That's as much thinking as you need to do. And then move forward as a very supportive energy. Very grounded and supportive. Wanting to learn. Yeah, I mean, really, that's what it is. What's at the bottom of this deck? The Moon. Yeah, you're being challenged by some sort of unknown energy, for sure. Everything is reversed. What's underneath here? The Knight of Cups is underneath here. Something's going to move, but I feel your frustration in these cards. Oh, wow. The Knight of Cups turns into the Queen of Cups. So at some point, like gestures that are made, it turns into something that's reciprocated. It is balanced. It is very loving and nurturing energy. It's going to become that. But I don't know if there's some sort of situation or circumstance either on one person's side or yours or both. And that energy needed to be cleared. And the only way to do that was almost like to keep you from coming apart, to come together with this Five of Air. Yeah. And they're Two of Swords. Five of Swords you got. Woo, all right, there goes Gemini. Wow, that was a challenge. I'm looking forward to going in and seeing what the lyrics to that song are for you. All right, thank you so much, Gem. Until next time, do be gentle with yourselves. Bye.